Hello, and welcome to Baldur's Gate 3. It's been a long time. Almost a year since I've done any recording of this. My PC couldn't run this very well, you maybe remember, and I've upgraded my PC. I did a little bit of testing prior to my recording right now, and I can start a dialogue immediately instead of taking a minute for every dialogue to load. So we're gonna pick up where we left off previously. We're not very far into the game, so I guess I could have just restarted, but I don't know. Like there are reasons why that would both be um make me more likely to want to restart or more likely not to want to restart. I'm not very far in, so there's not that much I'm juggling with what's happening in the story. I will say that the game is fairly menu intensive, fairly gameplay light, I guess, fairly story intensive. And all of these are reasons where I have a pretty low desire to replay through even short amounts of content that I've already seen before. So, where we left off, we are in this little druid camp. We have just left it, I think, but you can see over here in this stone area. It won't let me go very much farther because my party's not over here. But there are this sanctuary that the druids are kicking these wanderers out of. They all seem to be tiefling, something like that. We'll probably read more about that in our quest log in a moment. We have some characters to level up. Let's start with our quest log, actually, though. Journal. We have, the map. The Emerald Grove is what this is called, yeah. So we've explored the Emerald Grove. We've talked to most of the people we think we can. Although apparently there's a little icon here to talk to the healer Nettie. But we'll read about that in our quests. Our main quest, of course, is to find a way to remove the Mind Flayer parasite. At the beginning of the game, there's a cinematic where you are infected by these alien mind parasites, and so now we've banded together with some unlikely companions who have also been affected by these mind parasites, so we can try and get rid of them. We learned that the leader of the druids is a powerful healer named Halsin. He might be able to help us remove the parasite. We found people taking refuge in a grove. We should explore it. There might be a healer inside. There could be several ways to get rid of the parasite. Lae'zel, she's the, what even is her species? Not sure. It's this gal, though. Lae'zel, Githyanki, it says it right there. Right, Githyanki, who helped us escape the Nautiloid, thinks finding a Githyanki creche is our best solution. There's a healer named Nettie in a camp nearby, maybe she can help us. We've escaped the hells of the Nautiloid and crashed somewhere back in the material plane. We need to explore the area and find a healer. This is my main quest. Find a healer. Find a cure, rather. Finding a healer is one way to do it. Get help from healer Nettie. When we asked about healing, we were told to look for Nettie in the inner sanctum. There's a camp nearby where someone named Nettie can supposedly heal any wound. She might be able to help remove the parasite. Find the Githyanki creche. Find the Githyanki patrol. We learned of a Githyanki patrol to the northwest. They might be able to lead us to their creche. Find Zoru. Lae'zel told us that the Githyanki should be able to cure us if we can find one of their creches. Someone named Zoru should know more. So that's our main quest. There's also the Druid's Grove situation. Save the refugees. Return to Zevlor. Kaga wants the tieflings gone. She asked us to guide them out of the grove. Speak with Kaga. Kaga, leader of the druids, ordered the tieflings to leave the grove. Zevlor fears they won't survive the road and asked us to intervene. The fact that it's grayed out, I'm not sure what that means. So, like, some of the quests here are grayed out, like, in the selection spot, and some of them have details that are grayed out. But there's no overlap here. This one is grayed out over here on the left, but doesn't have any details grayed out. Oh, just, if it's grayed out, it means I've clicked on it. Okay. And if it has details that are grayed out, maybe that means I've already done that or forfeited the ability to do that. Investigate the music. We heard strange music on the beach. Where is it coming from? That's what we're doing right now. We're very close to the beach. Find Arabella's parents. We saved a child named Arabella from being killed by a snake. She immediately ran to her parents. We should speak with them. We found Arabella in the druid's lair. She's being judged by Kaga, leader of the druids, and is clearly in trouble. Yeah, I vaguely remember this little side piece. Maybe we can go back to that. Companions, daughter of darkness. Continue traveling with Shadowheart. We spoke to Shadowheart about the pain that her mysterious wound inflicted on her. She pleaded ignorance, though she may be withholding something. We witnessed Shadowheart become stricken by an unusual surge of pain, emanating from a tiny wound on her hand. We recruited a half-elf named Shadowheart. She was also... Looks like these details came in reverse order. We recruited a half-elf named Shadowheart. She was also aboard the Nautiloid and infected with the parasite. By the way, and it says we, so our character is just a human warlock woman named Jay. We'll do some character investigations in a moment. But let's keep reading through our quests. The Blade of Frontiers. Hunt down Karlach. We recruited Will, a monster hunter known as the Blade of Frontiers. He is on a mission to kill Karlach, a powerful devil who is a danger to the entire Sword Coast. The Githyanki Warrior. Search for signs of a Githyanki creche near the mountain pass in the northwest. We spoke to Zoro. He told... Oh, so we found Zoro. Right, maybe that's why this is grayed out, because we already did it. We spoke to Zoro. He told us he saw Githyanki on the road to Baldur's Gate near a mountain pass in the northwest. We should travel there with Lae'zel. Okay, that's what's going on here. So the Find Zoro already happened, and then above that is the more recent thing that we learned was the patrol to the northwest. Yeah. And then finally find Zoro. Yeah. That already happened. So if it's grayed out, we already did it, presumably. Oh, hide completed. Yeah, there you go. Or maybe not. No, hide completed doesn't hide the completed details of an uncompleted quest, but I still think that's what these are, is uncompleted details of a completed quest. Okay, and then completed quest, escape the Nautiloid. We did that. This is probably just good to review anyway, because it's not only important to know what we need to do, but remember what we have already done since it's been so long since we've done it. Quest complete. We escaped the Hells on the Nautiloid. Connect the nerves of the transponder. Yeah, again, I guess they do it in a weird order. If I wanted to read kind of the chronological narrative of what we've done, I think I should read from bottom to top. Find the way off the Nautiloid. You've been abducted by mind flayers and infected with some kind of parasite. We need to find the way off the ship. Reach the helm. We met one of the mind flayers' minions, an intellect devourer. It wants us to go to the helm of the ship. Connect the nerves of the transponder. The mind flayer told us we need to connect the nerves of the transponder to escape the Hells. We escaped the Hells. Okay. Free Lae'zel. That happened. Rescue the Illithid's captive. That was Shadowheart, yeah. Okay. So, we've looked at the map. The inspiration, I don't think needs... Grove environments. The inspiration, I don't think needs a big recap. Okay. We're close to the music on the beach. Although I do kind of want to go see why this spot is marked and save Arabella. This is going to be some other side story. I think we come back to it later. And before we do that, we can make some upgrade decisions. We probably should before we start interacting with people because we want to improve our roles and stuff. Can I look at the character sheet real quick? No. I mean, there's the way. Party. Okay, yeah. So here's our current party with their inventories and such. I tried to clean them out a little bit. I don't know if there are big downsides to being close to carrying capacity. Yeah, it looks like, yeah, you can carry a ton before it matters. We're only halfway full before we become encumbered, and our companions, we could pass a bunch of stuff to them if we needed to. I was a little bit stingy with what I held on to. It's like, oh, maybe we'll want this battle axe and this trident, or maybe we'll want this short sword or this scimitar. We need the torch, of course. Oh, maybe we want a pike. So I've held on to a bunch of things that I certainly don't need to, but it doesn't look like carrying weight's going to be an issue. So better to have than to have not. I think you can store stuff without, like, losing it. I don't know exactly how to do that, though. So when I was getting rid of stuff, I was just selling it. Stuff I didn't need. Yeah, we can see their character sheets. So this is yeah. We have 2 human warlocks because will happen to be the same species and class as the character we created at the start of the game. You can see they have basically identical stats. Yeah, they have literally identical stats. They both have Dark One's blessings. They share some noble features. Similar characters in the D&D aspect, of course. The Fiend, what does that mean? You have pledged your soul to the Hells or Abyss in return for a deadly arsenal of fiendish arcana. Interesting. You wield Trickery Domain. It's a Shadow Heart. You wield the unorthodox divine tools of deceit and illusion in worship of your chosen deity. Githyanki's a fighter, classic. She has no background, it looks like. Or maybe not that we know of. Not sure how that works. And the Fiend also. Very similar to Will. Okay. This is all like the skill checks. This is proficiencies, attributes. I guess we should read through the. Oh, these are. Did I say? I think I called this noble features earlier. It's notable features. Agonizing Blast. When you cast Eldritch Blast, add your Charisma modifier to the damage it deals, unless it's negative. Beguiling Influence. You invoke your patron's bewitching charm. You gain proficiency in Deception and Persuasion. Civil Militia. You have weapon proficiency with spears, pikes, halberds, and glaives, and armor proficiency with light armor and shields. Dark One's Blessing. When you reduce a hostile creature to 0 hit points, this gift from your patron grants you 5 temp hit points. You can only have 10 hit points from one source. Human Versatility. Select an additional skill to be proficient in. Your carrying capacity is increased by 1/4. Like, we can carry 1 additional US quarter. It's a very small amount. Just kidding. Opportunity attack. And everyone has opportunity attack. That's just a thing. Automatically attack an enemy moving out of reach. Okay. Civil Militia, we already saw. Dark Vision, you can see up to dark and 12 meters. Only our half-elf has that. Domain spells. You gain spells from your domain. They are always prepared. Fear of Wolves. Passive feature. Is this a good thing? It sounds like a bad thing. Shadow's Heart's Scout prickles with fear when she encounters wolves. If she steps within 9 meters of a lupine creature, she must make a wisdom saving throw or become frightened. Yeah, this is a downside. That's so interesting. Fey Ancestry. You have advantage on saving throws against being charmed, and magic can't put you to sleep. Tenacity. When you miss an attack, you deal 1 bludgeoning damage anyway. That's fun. I assume that's a melee attack? Kind of interesting. You can see all of our companions have a middling approval of us. Detect thoughts. Can read the thoughts of certain creatures while talking to them until long rest. Dark One's Blessing. Gained, 10 hit points. Okay. Yeah, it's the +5 here, and he also has the +5. We were in a combat, apparently. Okay, I don't think we need to read through all the skills and proficiencies and attributes, but we do need... Oh, Spellbook is maybe worth looking at. We can review that in a moment. Actions, reactions. Oh, but that's on their spell sheet, apparently. How do I go back to looking at the previous screen? I guess I can just click level up down here. We're level 3 now, increased our health. Class features, what is that? Most of your block spells have become stronger. That's fun. Gained a passive. Pact Boon. Gained a spell. Replace spell. Okay. Choices pending. Oh, do I have to... No. +1 initiative. What choices? Okay. Yeah, I can click on it here, I guess. Spells. Choose the spells you know from the list below. Spells require spell slots to cast unless feature states otherwise. Yeah, this is where it might have been good to review all of my spells and stuff to know which ones I should be choosing here. Um, okay, yeah, so we have Hex. I remember we've used Hex fairly often. Make your attack deal an additional 1d6 product damage. Give disadvantage on an ability for choosing. Protection from good and evil. Protect an ally against the attacks and powers of aberration, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. Until long rest, which is cool. Armor of Agathis. Gain 5 temp hit points and deal 5 cold damage to any creature that hits you with a melee attack. This one's not great because we gain temporary hit points when we eliminate enemies, and you can only have temporary hit points from one source. So maybe I want to get rid of that and add in line of creature attack rolls against have advantage in the foe attack with disadvantage, con save. I mean, that's fine. Invisibility. Touch a creature to turn it invisible. Attacks against it have disadvantage. It attacks with advantage. We're also gaining a spell, so whatever we can basically we're choosing two because we're currently replacing one, but then we can also add another one. I see. We have level 1 slots and level 2 slots. I'm not sure how that works. This one seems good though. Two to 20 damage is a lot. Oh, that's cool. Seems like it could be good in a prolonged fight. Hold a humanoid enemy still, they can't move, act, or react. Attacks from within 3 meters. Meters are always critical hits. Seems really good. Sure. And we can still choose, like I said, another spell. Each spell has a level and can only be cast with a spell slot of that level or higher. Regain spell slots by taking a long rest. What are my spell slots? Can I see? I don't. Yeah, I don't know how many spell slots I have, so this is a little annoying. But whatever. Um, I like the Witch Bolt better than the Hellish Rebuke, I think, because it's every turn, although we do have to concentrate. We don't want too many concentrate spells, yeah. It'd be awkward. 3d18. Shatter. Sure, let's do Hellish Rebuke. Pact of the Chain. Gain the service of a familiar, a fey spirit that takes a form of your choosing. This can be an animal, imp, or quasit. Pact of the Blade. You can summon a pact weapon or bind the one you are wielding, making a magical hex blade. Warlocks who already have bind hex weapon do not gain this bind. Pact of the Tome. Your patron grants you a grimoire called the Book of Shadows, which allows you to cast Guidance, Vicious Mockery, and Thorn Whip. I like that. Oh, they're all cantrips? That's amazing. They don't seem that powerful. This one's cool. Nice to have. This has some utility. I don't know. I like having more stuff. More stuff to choose from, more choices. Alright, it just sends us into the next level up screen. Not bad, not bad. you gain 1 level 1 spell slot, and you gain 2 level 2 spell slots. So maybe I don't know how many she has total though, so it's a little awkward. We can prepare which spells she's going to take. We only have 1 level 2, even though we have more level 2 slots. So we should probably make it like 3 and 3 instead of 5 and 1 like this. Four to 11, 4 to 7. We don't need both of these. The question is if we want to be able to do it at range or not. And I think that we don't need the range. And then, yeah, some like powerful spells, sure. This can be done as a bonus action, which is very nice. Oh, the healing word can also be done as a bonus action. That makes it much better. I actually prefer that. Probably I don't need the melee one. Lots of range things here. Enhance ability, silence. All within are silenced and immune to thunder damage. Protection from poison, calm emotions, hold person. Oh, that's really good. That's really good. I also like the hold person. I don't think it's bad to have 2 characters with hold people. Sure. Okay, get Yankee time. Specialization available. Chosen subclass Battle Master. Gain 3 passives, but I could choose something else. Oh my. Oh, that's a lot of choices. You are a warrior of spell and sword, weaving incantations that supplement your extensive martial expertise. That's Eldritch Knight. Champion. You approach the complex problems posed by combat with one distinctly effective solution. You hit those problems really quite hard. What's the feature? The number you need to roll a critical hit while attacking is reduced by 1. This effect can stack. Battlemaster. As a paragon of tactical superiority, you employ a wide array of combat maneuvers to dominate every fight. Superiority dice 4. Your superiority dice are d8s. You have 4. At fighter level 10, these dice become d10s. They fuel your Battlemaster maneuvers and are expended upon you. So you regain expended superiority dice after short or long rest. Gain 3 passives. Maneuver. I don't know what the 3 passives are. It doesn't let me look at them. Or Arcane Archer. You are capable of weaving magic into your attacks, giving your archery a supernatural quality, and your foes something to fear. Can gain some cantrips. Arcane Arrow, the resource used to cast an arcane shot. Right, I can choose the passives. I see. Direct an ally to strike a foe. Spend a superiority die to make an attack. Distracting strike. Distract your target, giving your allies advantage on their next attack roll. You can evade attacks by imposing disadvantage on melee attacks. Use both your action and bonus action on a turn to attack a target with advantage. Deal additional damage. Deal additional damage. And attempt to goad the target into attacking you. Spend a superiority die to make an attack that deals additional damage. Okay. Lots of stuff. My instinct is to take the Eldritch Knight. Gain 2 cantrips, 2 spells, a spell, 2 level 1 spell slots. Weapon Bond. Ritually bind the weapon in your main hand. The weapon can't be knocked out of your hand and automatically returns to you when thrown. That's cool. But maybe it depends on what the cantrips are and if they're any good. It feels like they're not as good as just attacking and being able to enhance my attacks with dice. But those were just the cantrips. The spells. Yeah, I mean, they seem like they're on par with what my attacks would do, except I have to spend spell slots, and it doesn't come with the added advantage. Like, this, I feel like these are on par with just what my normal attacks do anyway. Just if I swung a sword at someone instead of casting Magic Missile. And I guess there's expanded, more spells to learn, but yeah, if we go back to the subclass selection, if I just choose Blade Master and deal a bunch of, I can spend these superiority die and deal extra damage with my regular attacks. That seems like it would be better. So I guess I'm going to do that. Although it feels a little, it's interesting. It just seems interesting that this was the one that was default selected for me. Like they were telling me it was already the best one. Champion's fun. I could, yeah. Already I'm seeing the possibilities with this game. Lots of builds, lots of options. And they honestly don't seem too overwhelming. It's like, I don't know, you just make the best decision you can with the information you have. And if you're really, really into this game and you are playing it for a bunch of different playthroughs and challenge runs and whatever, you can just try out different options. I'm going to just do this one. The superiority dice options seem good. Now, I do have to continue to read through this list and figure out what the best 3 are. Let's start from the bottom this time. I got like halfway through before. Spend a superiority die to make an attack that deals additional 1d8 damage and possibly knocks the target prone. Seems good. Swing your weapon in a rapid sweeping arc to attack multiple enemies at once. Roll your superiority die for damage. Seems good. When a hostile creature misses you with a melee attack, expend the superiority die to retaliate with a powerful strike that deals an additional 1d8 damage. Expend the superiority die to grant an ally 8 temp hit points, bolstering their resolve. That's worse than any of the 3 I selected. So I think I'm just going to keep going through the list and then replacing the worst one of the 3. Trip attack's probably my least favorite of these 3. Spend a superiority die to make an attack that deals an additional 1d8 damage and possibly pushes the target back. Yeah, so it's like, do I want to trip people or push them back? Tripping is better. You can spend superiority die to add it to the result to an attack roll. Yeah, see, that's a little bit confusing. Like, how is that different than spend a superior die to make an attack that deals an additional 1d8 damage? I guess because the attack can't miss, because you use it on an attack that you've already succeeded on landing. I could see that being fairly useful. Maybe Riposte is my least favorite, relying on an enemy to hit me. The reason it's nice is because it seems like you wouldn't use an action to complete this, but actually I don't know. Oh, you can see down here. So sweeping attack takes an action, trip attack takes an action. Why are they in 2 different categories? Trip attack ranged, trip attack melee. 5 to 21 is so much. 1 to 8, but it lets you AoE, which is nice to just have in the tool belt. Yeah, so riposte doesn't add an action down here. So presumably it's a reaction, which is a pretty big advantage to be able to deal damage as a reaction. Menacing attack. Spend a superiority die to make an attack that deals an additional 1d8 damage and possibly frightens the target. I'd rather knock them down. Spend a superiority die to make an attack that deals an additional 1d8 damage. On hit, select which friendly creature will gain half its movement speed. It will not provoke attacks of opportunity. I prefer the knocking it down. Deal an additional 1d8 and attempt to... Yeah, so it's the same as the trip attack. 5 to 21, 3 to 15. That seems better than knocking it down, actually. And makes riposte better, too. But I want to see what these do still. Use both your action and bonus action on a turn to attack a target with advantage. And bonus damage. I see. This costs the action and the bonus action. Seems bad. It's just, yeah, it's the same as these, but you get to attack with advantage, which, I mean, obviously is good. I prefer the goading attack riposte combo, and then a sweeping attack as an AoE option. You can evade attacks by imposing disadvantage on melee attacks against you for a round. Yeah, these all cost superiority dice, I see. I don't think I'm ever going to want to spend... Not never. But I think I would. It's good to have options. But it looks like I can spend my 3 points effectively on options that don't compete with each other very much, that are all offensive. So if I'm choosing between having offensive options and defensive options, I want to choose the offensive options. But if I had enough different options that I was allowed to give myself, I wouldn't want to just have, like, 6 different attacking options. Really, like, 2 or 3 is enough. Maybe even 1 or 2. Because if they're options, like, the point is that they let you do meaningfully different things. Like, the difference between having the ability to trip someone and having the ability to frighten someone doesn't seem that meaningful, so I would never choose both of those. So in that sense, like, sweeping attack is an AoE option, which is significantly different from a taunting option. I'm reading this again, and it doesn't actually make me more likely to be missed. It just means I'm more likely to be attacked. Which maybe is a good thing. Although my 2 warlocks have ways to gain temporarily hit points for taking people out. So maybe I would want sweeping attack, evasive footwork, riposte. Yeah, and riposte and evasive footwork would go very well together. Yeah, gaining advantage, meh. Possibly force the target to drop the weapon, meh. That's cool if I had allies who had better weapon DPS, but I don't. So this is what I'm landing on. Sweeping attack is my strictly damagey option. The tricky thing, maybe this is bad. I was gonna say the tricky thing is you only have 4 superiority dice. So if you're using 1 for evasive footwork and 1 for riposte, you only get to do that twice. Whereas if you instead take the trip attack again, you're using 1 die to just get a really powerful attack. 5 to 21 damage. Hey, you don't even spend the die if you miss. And you're knocking people over. So the sweeping attack is a good AoE option. The trip attack is just like how you want to... just in a combat, you want to spend your dice as quickly as you can, because they deal the most damage. And then you can have an option to... like, if you just really need to be able to dodge an attack. Okay, I could actually see the precision attack being the better option, though. Because you can actually be, like, just spend your dice faster. I mean, evasive footwork doesn't cost an action. So you can spend, like... but you're not spending... you can spend your dice on damage faster in a combat. So you can see if you have precision attack and trip attack, you spend an action to do trip attack, and then spend another die, superiority die, to add it to the result of the attack roll. So this is just all aggressive option. But they don't compete with each other. They actually, like, well, yeah. These precision attack can just, I think, go alongside any offensive option, so they're not competing. And then sweeping attack is technically competing with, like, the choice I would make on a turn. I couldn't trip attack and sweeping attack, but, like, they're better in other different circumstances. But they're both aggressive, which is, I think, what I want. I want to end combats faster. It's just kind of the idea I'm approaching my party building here. Giant weapon fighting. When you roll 1 or 2 on a damage die for an attack with a 2-handed melee weapon, that die is rerolled once. Martial Prodigy. A lifetime of relentless training gave you armor proficiency with light, medium armor, as well as proficiency with great short sword, long sword, great sword. Okay. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to do the superiority dice. We have 4 of them. They're d8s. Eventually they'll be d10s. And Will. This is an interesting situation because he's so similar to our other character. You don't want too much. There can be reasons why too much redundancy is a downside. So we don't want to build him in exactly the same way. So maybe we don't need to give him the Pact of the Tome. We can give him the Familiar, which I remember feeling seems more interesting to me than the Blade. Oh, we can see what they do. Summon a Familiar with the form of an imp that can fly, turn invisible, and sting enemies. Oh, and we don't even have to choose these now. We just get all of these. Someone familiar with the form of a Quasit that can turn invisible and scare enemies. Sure. Okay. Then we need to do spells. Give everyone hold person. It's kind of funny. Most of warlock spells have become stronger. Oh yeah, warlocks are weird. Like, they have a slightly different situation than... Okay, this is the 3 he has right now. He has Arms of Hadar, Burning Hands, and Armor of Agathis. Yeah, Armor of Agathis is okay, but competing temporary hit points is why I swapped that out. Scorching Ray. It's insane. Yeah, let's grab Scorching Ray. That's a lot of damage. Level 1 Warlock spell slot, bonus action. Misty Step? It's kind of cool. Instill madness in a humanoid enemy, making them attack the creature closest to them, even if it's allied. Seems good, sure. Okay, well, we leveled up. We read through our quests. We read through our character sheets a little bit, and it's been 40 minutes, so maybe we just wrap the ending or the episode there. Is there anything else I wanted to do? Oh yeah, I can look here. So I've got 2 level 2 Warlock slots that recharge on short rest. Cantrips don't use any spell slots. Right.
I'm ready. Whatever it takes.
She has 4 level 1 spell slots, which refresh on long rests. 1 level 2. And a different resource called Channel Divinity.
Eager for battle.
She has 4 security dice now.
Defender of the people.
He's got 2 level 2 Warlock spell slots. Yeah, it's a little bit of a weird
There's no time to waste.
disharmony. What's that called? Dissonance? For Shadowheart to have resources that recharge on long rests, whereas 2 Warlocks have resources that charge on short rests. So there will be times where it's just like having all of your characters aligning the same incentives for the number of rests you're taking seems like it might be better. This is a time where like there's no advantage to the diversity. I mean, obviously, it seems like recharging on short rest is better, but imagining that the spell slots are more effective when they are the ones that recharge on long rests, then there's this idea that if you had everyone recharge on long rests, then all of their spells would be very powerful. But if you have some that recharge on short rests, then you're taking short rests more frequently, which isn't benefiting. I don't know. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying or if what I'm saying even makes sense, but I do get the sense that it is preferable to not have this mismatch of spellcasters with warlocks, but whatever. Maybe warlocks are just really good, and you're just happy to have any amount of warlocks on your team because warlock spell slots that recharge in short rest is just OP. They only have 2 slots though, like Shadowheart has 6 slots here. Yeah, here's all of our spells. Cantrips are probably worth looking at. So Eldritch Blast, Jay tends to use that very often. I guess probably Will also tends to. Oh yeah, Lae'zel has Action Surge. Second Wind to heal. Guidance. Sacred Flame. Turn Undead. Vicious Mockery. It's funny. Thorn Whip. Oh yeah, these. I gain that from my tone level up. Blade Ward. And some spells if I'm wanting to. Sure. This is a reaction so will be used in response to a specific event. Your next attacker, yeah. Seems fine. As long as we're not killed in one hit, which our life totals are getting pretty high, but I guess I don't know how much enemy damages are scaling up. How do I get out of this? There we go. Anything else I wanted to do? As far as my quests, I was interested in going back to these places that are being highlighted on the map for me, rather than start pursuing some other investigation. But I think I probably won't start that today. Is there anything else I want to do today that is just convenient to click through or read through right now? No, I don't think so. So thanks so much for watching, and hopefully next time we actually get into some gameplay. Oh, I have my map up here in the top right. I wonder if my camera should be somewhere else. I mean, I can decide this later, but I thought I would bring it up before I totally close out so that maybe someone comments and gives me some input on camera placement. Yeah, top left seems good for this. All right. Stay lovey.